things.
Well, let's talk about today. The guest list for the royal wedding includes not only dignitaries and celebrities, but also practitioners of torture and other human rights violations. One invited guest, Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali Al Khalifa, is the current Bahraini ambassador to London and the former head of Bahrain's National Security Agency, an agency that's accused of electric shocks and beatings. Bahrain has in recent months been racked by protests as government has been accused of unleashing a violent crackdown on political dissenters. Bahrain's crown prince was also originally invited to attend the wedding but declined. Can you talk about the Bahraini guest?
Well, at a time when our governments claim they're bombing Libya to protect the Libyan population and because they're opposed to human rights abuses, some of the worst human rights abusers in the world have been invited to be fawned over in London today. You know, you had the Saudi royal family who horsewhip women if they have the temerity to sit behind the wheel of a car, who horsewhip the victims of rape. You know, you had the King of Swaziland who murders trade unionists, murders Democrats, murders dissidents. You know, you had, as you mentioned, Bahraini torturers. You know, and it's worth seeing the contrast between Libya and Bahrain. The British Foreign Secretary, William Hague, our equivalent to Hillary Clinton, admitted in an interview recently that a motive for the bombing of Libya is to lower the price of oil. Contrast that with Bahrain. You know, Bahrain is a place where the oil flows just past Bahrain. It's where the American bases are. You know, the contrast is very clear. If you're essential to our oil supplies, we'll fawn over you. If you mess with our oil supplies, if you're disobedient in supplying your oil, you get what happens in Libya.
Yesterday we reached Nabil Rajab of the Center for Human Rights in Bahrain for comment. This is what he had to say.
Disappointing to see the invitation for the wedding is being extended to our ambassador to London, especially taking into consideration his bloody role as the head of the national security apparatus, which is responsible for gross human rights violations since he was in power. Fortunately, this has not been taken into consideration by the people who invited him. I think this is a sad message to the people of Bahrain and to the victim of torture. I myself was attacked by the forces that belong to the same institution. I was attacked severely and I was admitted to hospital. And I was approximately 2 weeks in hospital getting treated for the problem I had because of the attack, which I still have the same problem till now.
That was Nabil Rajab of the Center for Human Rights in Bahrain. Johan Hari.
It's worth bearing in mind what's actually happened in Bahrain. We've heard a lot about the heroic uprising in Tahrir Square. There was a similar uprising in Bahrain, a place called Pearl Square. The Bahraini government have physically demolished Pearl Square. They've knocked the whole thing down so demonstrators can't even gather. Massive repression of the Shia population there, who are a majority, being viciously suppressed by a Sunni dictatorship. You know, and what do? We welcome them and we fawn over them. It shows that our language about, you know, respecting human rights is tragically deceptive.
I want to go back to the wedding for a second. What is this costing?